Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm none other than your homie HerbMan. We're coming live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go get somewhere, get situated, you guys. This episode, we're going to really be interactive with you guys, answering all the questions that you may have on today. Okay. I know a lot of times I like to come and give my thesis or whatever, but today is all about you guys. If you got questions that you want to get answered today is your opportunity to do that, you guys. All right. So I love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody, because what we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we be adamant about teaching you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that you so surely deserve. We all deserve those three factors as well, you guys. So this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how you do that is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. But it's really all about your presence. Okay, we want to make sure you're present. We want to make sure you're here. You can't get relief if you're not present. You have to be able to focus and get into the present moment, you guys. So that's why we like for you guys to keep tapping while I keep talking, because it allows you to be present, okay, and hear exactly what information you need to hear so that you can be well, so that you can get your life back intact. I had a brother on yesterday call me about life just in general, okay? So we're here for you guys no matter what. If you have your owner's manual, you can call me and we can help you at least get a different perspective on life, okay? And sometimes it just takes you hearing somebody different. Maybe your parents are not saying the right thing. Maybe your friends are not saying the right thing. Maybe your coworkers are not thinking the right things. But when you get that offshoot person that's just a stranger, can probably provide for you a different perspective for you see things in a different light, and you'll be able to walk into your light, you guys. All right. So with that being said, you guys, we've always been teaching you about the owner's manual. We always will teach you about the owner's manual. You cannot get material unless you have your blueprint. Okay. So if you guys are looking for your blueprint, you go to the website, just type in blueprint, type in owner's manual, get what you need, but you got to have the design first, and then you get the material, and then the body can do the task that you wanted to do. All right. So what we got here, guys, thank you for the 1,000 likes. We'll get right into it. So yesterday we were showing you about the design. Okay. This is your design in a nutshell. All right. And we're trying to show you how to get into that next level of consciousness, but you have to take more care of the body. And again, the old gurus, they used to be able to, they were trying to get here, which is a great thing to do. But a lot of times they just took the body through a lot of egregious stuff, right? Same way that you're doing unconsciously. Okay. And we don't want to continue to keep taking this body through all of this egregious thing, because when you're in this cycle of life, okay, the body will run down on you if you don't give it the right fuel. If you don't give it the right fuel, the right material that it needs, but you got to know the material, which means you got to know what kind of, when you're talking about building a wealthy life, when you're talking about building a life for a family, when you're talking about building relationships, right? You got to have the blueprint. You got to have that blueprint. And a lot of times, if we don't know where we are, we can mess up some things, but those things are just lessons. All right. So as you move forward, you can start to now benefit from understanding a little bit more. Okay. And when other folks come to you with this type of stuff, y'all listen. But when I come to you with this stuff, I want you to listen as well, because we're going more in depth with it. It is not just a yogic thing. It's not just Ayurvedic. It's not just traditional Chinese medicine. It's not traditional African medicine. It's not Western. It's humanity. Okay. Somebody put humanity in the chat. This is for humanity. Okay. And there are so many of our counterpart brothers and sisters that are struggling with their health, struggling with their money, struggling with their relationships just as much as you are. So everybody, Asian, Australian, South American, African, European, and American. Everybody is going through some of these things. And you need some reciprocity. You need some answers, right? And if you're looking for answers in all the wrong places, behind all the wrong faces, you'll never be able to understand truly what the human design is really made for. Your roots are always going to be the problem. In order for this plant to grow, it must have strong roots. And a lot of us, this is where the problem is at. So when you don't, just like in biology, they talk about your telomeres, right? Your telomeres shorten as you age and as you do some of these lifestyle things. But what we're trying to tell you, that's the root, the stem cells, the roots. And if your roots go deep, the plant grows up high. And if you're rooted and grounded in mess, then you're going to grow up high in mess. If you're rooted and grounded in misinformation, then you're going to grow up misinformed. If you're rooted and grounded in the wrong agendas in life, then you're going to grow up wrong. So you must understand that this is the problem down here. So we're trying to fix it from here. And in order to fix it from here, some of you guys got to understand that we got to redo the soil, to redo the soul. Be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind, the roots, right? We got to get to the root issue of your problem. And so again, we teach you guys that stability, need is a root cause. Okay, the need. What do you need? Well, you shouldn't need anything because the body heals itself. You shouldn't need anything because the earth is abundant within itself. But once you get the programming, then this becomes this lack becomes the very fundamental thing of what you're doing, and you're running down your physical body because you feel like you're lacking in certain places, okay? And that lack will run you in the ditch. That lack will run you straight down the road to Sickville, USA. And then when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and this plan is all humped over and lumped over, then you want to try to get some help. But we want you to be able to get this earlier, because once we can get this thing earlier and you start to spread your seeds of ideas, you start to spread your seeds of relationships, and you start to spread your seed of wealth and finances, you want them to fall on good soil. Okay? You need for them to fall on good soil. And so that means that you need to understand the organic framework in which you were designed to live. Okay, somebody put that in the chat. Organic framework. You need to understand your organic framework, again, your blueprint. Okay, and that's the owner's manual, right? That blueprint. Now I got the blueprint, then also the owner's manual is going to give you now the material. And it ain't just food, it ain't just herbs, but it's going to be how you interact with nature. How much sunlight are you getting? Are you getting good water? Do you know what good water is? Do you understand what good water is, right? You know, the people can put anything on the labels on the bottles. So you want to be more outsourcing as far as going outside and finding the water from nature. Not in a bottle, but from nature. But you're so busy going to the grocery store instead of finding the spring near you, going to the waterfalls, going to the rivers, right? Going to the mountains and getting your water. That's the best water. And you can't find it in a bottle. You know, they can put anything on their bottles, you guys. So everybody said, well, what's the best water to drink in the store? None of it. You need to go outside. You got to get sunlight outside, not your light bulbs. You need to get water from outside. You need to get your air from outside, not your air conditioning. You need to get your food from outside in your backyard, not the grocery store. Your backyard could be a grocery store. Your patio could be a grocery store. You don't need a whole lot of space to do what nature can do, okay? So we want to take you back to that understanding, and then you can make a decision. Right now, you've been programmed. You feel like you don't have any choice but to do what you got to do. But if I show you that you do have a choice, which one will you choose, okay? What if you can't get the water outside? What's the other alternative? No, there is no alternative. That's the thing that I'm trying to get y'all to see. There is no other alternative. There is no other alternative. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see, J-Lo. There is no other alternative at this point, my brothers and sisters, than to live naturally. There is no other alternatives to nature. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to. If you can get that, you got that, and then you'll be good. Remember, 1 billion people can change the system, but not you by yourself. Not 100 people, not 1,000 people, but 1 billion people can change the world. 1 billion people can change the system. So what I'm trying to get you guys to get is that there is no other alternatives. You know, either you get this or you acknowledge that you're on the wrong side of the track. Again, your programming, when you came in, you had no choice. You got programmed. We get that. But now we're revealing to you the choices. Now, which one will you choose? Very simple. When you were programmed, you felt like you had no other choice. The brother went to jail because he felt like he had no other choice. Okay? The people are doing these types of things because they feel like they have no choice. But when a choice is offered, which one will you choose? Now that you're getting the choice, dang, I can know my design. Dang, I can grow myself up like a plant and understand the analogies, the principles behind that. Dang, I really do need to know you'd rather pay bills than to gather the skills that it takes to live according with nature. Most of us would rather settle out of court and pay bills instead of gather the skills that it takes to live in alignment with nature. So we just show you that. We just offer you that opportunity with the owner's manual, okay, with the blueprint. We just offer you that opportunity. You don't have to take it. It ain't a forcible thing, but you can't say that you didn't know. There's a scripture in the Bible that say, "Oh, inexcusable man." That means that you won't be able to have excuses because nature will always provide the choices. Somebody gonna be born to tell you that you don't got to do that. That's what the Jesus was the alternative, right? Moses was the man. Mosaic law was everything. That was the program. Here come Jesus. They thought he was crazy. What you mean we got another option? Ain't nobody got no option but to do the Mosaic law. We don't have no option but to pay taxes. We don't have no option but to do this thing the way that it was. And here come this brother providing another option. It blew their mind. We got another option? Blasphemy. There is no other option. You are going against the laws of nature. No, providing you guys with another option. You don't have to go down there to that allopathic community if you don't want. Okay? You don't have to be drinking nasty water if you don't want to. You can be provided another option. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. So the biggest question is, do you want your blueprint? Do you understand how to build? When you're building a relationship, you're building your wealth, you're building your health. How does that blueprint look like in your life? And right now, you've been programmed to think that education is going to do it, money is going to do it, and this, that, and the third is going to do it. And is it really? Is it helping you? Very educated, but got high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis. Very religious, but got high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis. Very hard worker, but got high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis. You're married, but got high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis. Is it doing it? I'm asking you guys. What say you? You guys were live on TikTok and live on YouTube. Please go get some work, get situated, okay? If you guys got questions, you can ask me anything, okay? Anything, and we're going to go straight to this diagram and show you exactly what's going on in your life, okay? This is the most ancient system on the planet. Okay. It's the reason why they call it the plant it. The plant it. You're looking at plan it. I want to look at it as plant it. So this is the most fertile environment that you have for your ideas, for everything that you're looking for in life. That's why I told you can go to your backyard and spread seeds out, and it'll grow more food than you can buy in the grocery store. You have to share them tomatoes. But when you go to the grocery store, you ain't sharing them tomatoes. You only bought 4. But when you grow tomatoes, you'll have to share them in order for them not to go bad. So that's letting you know that the fertility of this experience, it is at your disposal. But you got to know how to manipulate it and bend it to your desire. Fire, air, earth, and water. You can bend it. That's why they call it the fire bender, the air bender, the earth bender, the water bender, because you can bend it to your desire. You can't talk to bottled water, but you can talk to the oceans, the rivers, the waterfalls, the lakes. That's the thing that holds memory, is that water, not your bottled water. You can't talk to the light bulb, but you can talk to the sun. You guys hold your calls to after the live, all right? You can't talk to the light bulb, but you can talk to the sun. You can't talk to your air conditioner, your thermostat, but you can talk to the air. You can talk to that tree outside, but you can't talk to that dead stuff inside your home. Which one do you prefer? So that's your original design. Ancient civilization, the Mayans and all of these different things, the Mayans and the Toltecs and the Aztecs and the Egyptians and the doggone tribes and all of these different civilizations, the Polynesians. How do you think they were able to navigate to get us to this point? They were able to bend the elements, utilize nature for their benefit. I told you we created navigation, we created colonization, cultivation, and agriculture. All of that is the biggest industries on the planet. GPS is in everything now, including your phone. It's in your phone, your car, it's in the airplanes, the trains, it's everywhere. We colonized the plants and the animals. Now, I don't know if necessarily that was a great thing, but that's where your communities come out of. That design is the same design in your neighborhood and your community. These roadways were ancestrally they were waterways to get to the water, to bring water inland. How did they knew it was going to flood? Every one of those ancient cultures I just named had a common thing. They all followed the Sirius star. Well, what's the Sirius star? What's the Pleiades all about? It ain't all that hocus pocus. It's about rainy season. It's about the flood season. That's all it was about. That's why you even got the flood as a story in the Bible, because it's a principle. Do you know when you're flooded with emotions? Do you know when you're flooded with overthinking and mental issues? Do you know when you're flooded with these physical issues, ailments? Do you know when you're flooded with these spiritual things, the belief systems? The flood. The flood ain't talking about that flood from Noah. It's talking about flooding you, and that's happening all the time. And you got to know how to get on high ground. You got to know how to get on the high ground for when that high tide of life comes in your life. We'll show you where you're at Are you in low tide? Are you in high tide? Or are you in the inner parts where you should be going inward? Or are you in the outer parts where you should be looking more to your physical health instead of your spiritual health? I'm in the spiritual health of life. I'm right here. In this little leaf, I'm right here in Scorpio. Well, that's a more inward thing. Libra, yes, it's relationship, but it's still a more spiritual communion between you two people. So therefore, it's a more inward thing. Libra is inward, Scorpio is inward, Sagittarius is a spiritual thing, Capricorn is a spiritual thing, Aquarius and Pisces are all times of your life where you need to go inward. Remember that this is fall and this is winter. That ain't a whole bunch of exuding energy. You want to get out of the house in spring and summer, but when fall and winter come in, you got to know how to harvest for what? The time where you got to be in. So you have this preparation to be inward. Spiritual stuff going to happen to you. But you guys are out here trying to live outward. You're trying to do physical things at a time of your life because you don't know your original design. You don't know the blueprint. Okay? Flood is always happening. The flood ain't never stopped, but you have to be a knower. You got to be a knower. And that's the opportunity that we're presenting to our brothers and sisters all across the globe, is this point to where you can become a knower and know your seasons so that you don't lose things at the flood. The Egyptians called that time of flood Akhet, Ahket. Akhet, they knew was coming. Again, Pleiades and Sirius, they knew when it was going to rain and flood, and they realized that that was a blessing because after the flood, the ground was so fertile. In Mesoamerica, when you're talking about, if y'all know what Mesoamerica is, even Dr. Sabi was a Mesoamerican, right? Because that's consistent of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras. He was from Honduras, right? That's the Mayan stuff. People don't know that. That's the Mayan. The brother was already gifted with this stuff. But you got to understand these civilizations' new nature in a way that were able to propel us to 2026. And we're not going to go further without this original design coming back in. So you got to be able to understand thyself, know thyself better in order to heal thyself. So everybody wants to be here at the bloom. Okay? Everybody wants to be here. But a lot of us, you're blooming right here. You're blooming here. You're blooming here. And that bloom under this line is still blooming in your hellacious consciousness or your lower self-consciousness. We want you to grow as tall as you can so that you can bloom in your spiritual consciousness. You can bloom at the right time when you are above the fray. When you are in your higher self, then you bloom instead of blooming down here, because that means your roots is too short. Short roots bloom early. Deeper roots, you get into where you need to be. The root causation of a lot of our issues is that we feel like we're in need of something. The need. Anybody got any questions thus far? You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. The need. Always in need. And there's really no outsourcing this stuff. Modern medicine is just trying to get you back into that work seat. It's a part of the production. When I was in the military on the boat, we had medical on the ship. So you ain't got to fly. Ain't nobody gonna fly you nowhere, go nowhere. Medical is on the ship. So if you got something going on, you go to medical, and then from medical, they send you back to work. It's a part of the design. So the healthcare facility of today is a part of that design because production is what they're trying to get out of you. Can you blame them? Because the healthcare system right now is hurting the economy when it comes to production. So therefore, it is incumbent upon that healthcare system to create models of healthcare to push the person back out into productivity. They don't want to lose money. because you can't work because you got high blood pressure, diabetes, and arthritis. So we give you the simple resolutions to put you back out. Good day, man. Can you break down Life Path 8, please? No, I cannot break down Life Path 8, Lana. But if you wanna call me, then I can break down Life Path 8. Okay. What's a low tide, high tide? Low tide and high tides are just points and positions of life. Okay. But if you are a Life Path 8, then the one thing you got to worry about here is self-control. Okay, self-control issues. Okay, Life Paths 8 got a lot of determination. Okay, wanting to be successful, all that type of stuff. That's fine. Okay, but you got to watch your desires, because most Life Path 8s can end up in this negative side over here. Okay, so this would be the negative side and this would be the positive side. Okay, another thing about a Life Path 8 is if you don't watch your self-control, then you can have digestive issues. You can be dealing with pancreas issues or insulin or blood sugar issues, etc., etc. But the high tide and the low tide, that's what you want to know. Am I in the high tide of life or the low tide of life? And so when you're looking at a high tide, you're looking at a time of where you're at your spiritual consciousness, right? So spiritual stuff will be over here, while physical stuff would be over here. So you got to think about a wave. When the water recedes, the low tide is better to go out there and do your thing. That's the physical part of life. That's the masculine, that's the electrical side. But when you're looking at high tide, you can't go out there and find nothing. You got to be up in shelter. You got to wait. You got to rest. You got to be focused more on inward stuff then, because the flood is happening. Okay? So that's what high tide and low tide really, really means. Okay? But if you want to know your own personal stuff, Lana, you're going to have to hit me up. Okay? Now, I don't bang anything. I bang health. That's it. I bang the H, EALTH. That's what I bang. Okay? Because I wear blue and I wear white when, I mean, this is probably your first time seeing me. All right. So what you need to understand is those things. So this stuff is all allocated to those numbers, right? So you got 1 here. These are your 2s here. These are your 3s and 8s. Okay, these are your 4s and 6s. This is your 5. This is your 7. And this is your 9. Okay, so it's not, I know they say the 7 chakras because there's 7 of them, but as far as the life path numbers, it goes this way, you guys. Okay, life path numbers. So this is the fire element. Okay, well, let's start here. So earth, water, fire, air, earth, water, fire. Okay, so you got 2 waters, 2 earths, 2 fires, and then it says you only got 1 air. But when you put the life path numbers in now, that's how this goes. So when you got a life path, you can start to see that if you're a life path 3 and 8, you got to watch your self-control. Okay, but that's one aspect of the fire. The other one is you got to watch out for addiction habits, attachment issues. Okay. Also, your good side is you could be a very spiritual person and a very determined person. Easy. Okay, very, very easy. All right. If you're 1, this is the earth element. Okay, so you're under stability, right? That's your primary thing, is you trying to get some stability. These are the earth elements as well. So Capricorns, Virgos, Tauruses, stability, right? But there's another earth element too here, creativity, manifestation. But on the negative side, you got to watch out for your thyroid, the doubt, the trust. You got to watch out for adrenals, your bones. You got to watch out for stress and anxiety and worrying. Easy. It's a blueprint. You're like a plant. So now you got to look at what can keep you down, and then you look at what can keep you up. And you got to balance the two. You got to look at the negatives. If expounded on too much, if you're too excessive, then you can call it a negative. And if you're under right? If you're void of some stuff, in lack of some stuff, then you know you need to add some stuff to yourself. If you're excessive, you know you need to eliminate some stuff. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got any other questions? So when you're looking at this design, it's very easy. So it doesn't matter if I'm a life path 11. Okay, 1 and 1 is 2. That's a water element. I'm a life path 22. 2 and 2 is 4. That's an air element. I'm a 33. 3 and 3 is 6. That's an air element. Okay. So there's no one we cannot find. There's nothing that we cannot be able to help you with. Okay. Madam Tanya, that's a life path 5. Okay. So yes, very creative. You have that creative bone inside of you, okay? It can help you manifest if you allow it to. But also, the negative part of that is watching out for your weight, your metabolism, watch out for your thyroid, and then watch out for the doubt and trusting people, okay? Because when you start experiencing more of the negative side, then you're going to start getting these particular organs and stuff that you got to deal with. But when you start experiencing more of the positive side and you started getting your voice out, you start to understand the power of your voice and you start to create your own life, then that's a good thing. But that's an earth element. So then you also got to come down here to 1 and look at stability and survival and what's needed in your life. Okay, you can't let that trump you. Otherwise, you're going to be always stressed and anxious, and then you're prone to adrenal, kidney, or bone issues, arthritic, stuff like that. So when you give me a life path 5, yes, you're up here, but it also is representing a element. So now I can pull out of that element some other stuff. Madam Tanya said, very true. There you go. Very easy. This is the blueprint. Once you get your blueprint, then you start providing the body with the materials, aka the nutrients that are needed, aka the environmental adjustments that are needed, right? AKA the lifestyle things that are needed. Then you start to see life get better. Then you'll be ready for wealth. Then you'll be ready for relationship. Then you'll be ready for health. Okay. I just did life path 8, you guys. I'm not going to go over anything I already did. Life path 3 and stuck in survival mode. Okay. If you're life path 3, then the reason why you're stuck in there is because you got some desires, right? That you got some desires that ain't been met. And when you have these uncontrollable desires, then that means that you got some self-control issues. Okay? You have some self-control issues. And then that's the life path. Then you say you stuck down here. But can't you see how you're stuck in your lower self? You see that, user 1807? Your problems are here. You're stuck in your lower self. So now you got needs and you got desires that are not being met that can start to cause you some problems digestively with your pancreas, your blood sugar. You see this now? With your adrenals, your kidneys, your bones. So we got to get out of that. And we can show you how. Yeah, Abraham Bryan already did the Life Path 8, man. So you ready? Abraham said a life path 9, very spiritual, okay? You have a very spiritual outlook and consciousness about life, okay? Very spiritual, but this is also the fire element, all right? So yes, you can be prone to some attachment and some addictive behavior. So we got to watch out for that, Abram, okay? But also the other fire element is here, the self-control issues, okay? Because that can start dealing with. So this is more of your nervous system and this is more of your digestive system, right? So watching out for your blood sugar and all this. Another thing with the pineal is your sleep disturbance, right? Sleep deprivation, insomnia, mood swings, all because you're this spiritual person. So you may be prone to doing more drugs, okay? Coping mechanisms, okay? Because of this consciousness, because of this outwardly thinking. You can be also an overthinker, which is causing that sleep deprivation and insomnia. But the other fire in you is your digestive system. So we got to watch out for self-control issues. It's good to have determination, and it's good to be spiritual, but it's not good to have self-control issues and have an addictive behavior, because those things are going to lead to disorders or diseases. Okay. Anybody else? So you were worth more than $50. I know that, Donna. I know that. I've been trying to tell you, but my biggest thing, in all honesty, I want everybody to get it. Not just the elite, not just the people who got money, but this is for Rico and them. This is for Main them and Tay them. This is for folk that don't even watch me, don't even know me, don't even think about me, don't even know I even exist. They still need it though. So that price point, I know that is more than that. But when you're looking at 1 billion served, and I look at how McDonald's and Taco Bell and Pizza Hut and Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Del Taco, they all hit the block with dollar items. And that business model allowed them to still stick around for 40, 50 years in our community, because they made things accessible. And that's a business model, even though they weren't giving us the best stuff. It's a business model. Just like Migo them now, they're going to come cut your grass for the low, because they're not looking at cutting your particular grass only. So when they come to your neighborhood, yes, they're going to shave off $20, $30 from the other brother, because the other brother just wants your 1 yard. But Migo them coming to take over the whole community. They're not coming to cut 1 yard. They're giving you that price so that you can go tell somebody to go tell somebody. And eventually he cutting all the yards in your community, while brother man or the other man is just still cutting that 1 yard. So you got to understand the business model is accessibility, because this stuff literally grows on trees. Now, does it take a lot of time to do this? Yes, it does. It takes a lot of time to do this, but it's a ministry, not an industry for me. Oh, it's your birthday today? Yeah, go ahead and go on there and get yourself some, man. You'll see what they're hitting on. You'll see you need your blueprint. Don't buy nothing else until you get your blueprint. Okay? Don't buy nothing else until you get your blueprint, because you need to know what material you need. You see what I'm saying? Been a member for a year and still trying to apply this knowledge. Yeah, well, you just got to be able to understand that it's more organic, right? Remember that we're trying to transition from human doings. Okay, this right here keeps you at a human doing. So you got to do all of this stuff. But when you transform from a human doing to a human being, then you'll see that you don't really need to do a whole lot. You just need to be. And I know that we're not living in a modern environment that will give us enough time to just be. So you got to start mandating it. You got to start choosing to do it. Okay? Just go outside before you go into your car from the garage. Just go outside and feel it. Feel cold. Feel the rain. Feel the heat. Just a small second of thank you for the rain. You ain't got to get all wet, but I felt the raindrops on my arm. Then I go put on the raincoat. Feel the sun. Then I go and cut on the AC. Feel the cold. Then I go put on my jacket. You see, it's just a consciousness. It's just a consciousness. Okay? As we use our voice, what element should a life path 4 use to release? As we use our voice, what element should a life path 4 use to release? So what you talking about? Emotions? Life path 4 is an air element, right? So you want to use the air. You want to go outside and talk to yourself. You probably already talk to yourself. If you're a 4 or 6, you're already talking to yourself. If you are air sign, you already talk to yourself. If you're a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, they can find you talking to yourself already. But then if you are a life path 4 or 6, even if you ain't a air sign, you talk to yourself. Okay, so you're already bending the air. The only thing is now be knowledgeable of it so that you don't keep manifesting craziness because you keep saying craziness out your mouth. Okay, so now you be more mindful of it and you bend it to do the things you want to do right. Otherwise, if you don't recognize it, when you say crazy stuff, that comes to manifestation too. So you wonder why things are happening in your life because you said it. Okay, because you said it. All right. Anybody else? All right, Donna. Now stop all that typing. Listen. Stop all that typing and listen. Now, I tell you, when you start typing, you ain't listening. Say, okay, thank you, thank you. Now you mute yourself. I don't have to mute you, Donna. You mute yourself. You know better. All right. Who else on here? Talking about mute you. Nah, you have self-control. You do it for yourself. Anybody else that's wondering about their design? Anybody else that's wondering about their design? Life path 6, again, that's the air element, right? So that's the love. Okay, that's the lovers. Okay, now if you don't watch out, then you're going to be a very depressive person. Okay, so life path 4s and 6, yes, you can love, but then a lot of times when your love fails, right? When your loved one leave, or when somebody you really wanted to be with leave, then that's when that grief and depression come in. Okay, if you hold on to this grief and depression, it starts to mess with the thymus gland. Right, that thymus gland is your immune intelligence. So then, therefore, now you can be more prone to immunity issues, respiratory issues, autoimmune issues can all come out of a life path 4 and 6. Okay. Okay, so that's what you want to do. That's where I'm stuck. I'm repeating the same thing, expecting different results. Why is change so hard? Because transformation is organic, and we're just not organic enough as we need to be. So the change is hard because you are stuck in programming here, desires, needs, and wants. And it's hard for you to see what's on the other side of that. So this thing, what I'm talking about is your dependency on nature. So let me ask you a question. Dependency on nature means that you got to wait until the oranges bloom. Can you fast that long? Dependency on nature means you got to wait until it rains. Can you not bath for that long? Dependency on nature means that you got to wait. You got to wait. And because we're not patient, we become patients. Oh Lord, that boy need to stop. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. You see, because we're not patient, we eventually become patients. That's why they tell you that patience is the virtue. So what I'm trying to do is to get you from the doing to the being. See, but because your output is more expedient than nature. See, your output is more expedient than God. So you got to wait on God. But because you have been programmed to be the God of your own life, your output is more expedient, so you don't want to change that. When I need some money, I can go out here and cut it, but you talking about wait on the law. But the question is, why would you need money? Because the abundance is here. Again, we'll rather pay bills than gain the skills necessary to build our life the way it's designed to be. You'll rather go to work and pay them bills than to wait on God. You'd rather go and let other folk build your house and then build you for your house than allow God to teach you how to build your own home. You'd rather go in there and buy bottled water because you're so thirsty that you can't go down there and find a spring right near you so you can go get water that's for free. See, the human condition is expedient. It's an economy based on speed of result. It's hard for you to change that. And you teach your baby that. You teach your child that. You teach your adolescent that. You teach you learn this as an adult that you are king, you are God, and it's very hard for y'all jokers to sit and wait on the law, and it don't matter how much church you got. And that's the original problem. Remember, I told you about that tree in California called Methuselah. That tree ain't prayed. It ain't prayed to God. It ain't prayed on no animal. It ain't did nothing but sit there, waiting on God, waiting on nature. And it's lived thousands of years. And I'm trying to get you guys to understand that design. Get you to understand that design, because this design is the alkaline design, right? This is the stuff that nobody had to do. No human had to plant it. But you got to understand that you're in a plant it environment. You're in a very fertile environment for life itself. And if you give your body, your mind, the opportunity to understand that this is a fertile environment for not only the babies here, but the babies here. We want to allow you guys to be able to bring your babies to full term. But it has to be in the right environment. Because environment, if you don't change the environment will eventually change you. And this is not only indicative to the people, but it's also indicative to cell life biologically. So you got to understand this. Yes, it is very hard to change. I know this. That's why the work is the ministry, it's not an industry. We know we got to come on here every day, every single day, and try to get people out of their issues by allowing them to know that, first of all, change is inevitable. This thing was a seed, it changed into a flower. You were a seed, you changed into an adult. So you got to grasp that and hold on to it. And you got to keep it so that you understand that, yes, a relationship can change. So you can lose that woman, but you can also gain another one. It's change. You can lose that girlfriend, but you will also get another one. Things change. You are poor and impoverished right now, but you can strike it rich and wealthy. You just got to know how to bring this to full term. And I'm telling you that Mama Nature has provided a fertile environment for you to have as many babies as you want to, physically and psychologically. I remember old Herman Cain. A lot of people don't know old Herman Cain. He tried to run for president one time. Herman Cain said, the reason I was broke is the reason I got rich. So I grew up so broke, I had to get rich. He owned Godfather Pizza, rest his soul, because I think he passed away. But I took that and I said, dang, some people will use broke, coming from broke family, as an excuse to be broke. But Herman Cain said, I seen that broke and promised that I wasn't going to stay broke. So change, he used change. But the biggest thing is to understand that this is a plant it. So you can plant your ideals. Look at me. I'm reformed. I don't even work. I do what I love to do for an hour or two and can make a living. I've been running my gums. I've been preaching. all my life. My daddy a preacher. We been doing this whether we was in the church or not. So you just do what you're doing naturally, and it'll sow seeds. And then now I ain't got to clock in. I can just be me, what I've been doing ever since I was a little jit, and live life. Now I can go outside and get some of that out because I'm not mandated to stay in no air conditioner. Now I can get some of that rain. Now I can get some of that water. I got the time, but I also got the means. So many of our dreams and our desires and our wants and needs are trapped in you. You're trying to build a life in hell down here in this hellacious consciousness. So your home design is down here. Your community you want to live in is in this area. Your spouse that you want, y'all went dating in hell. You done courted her all in this hellacious consciousness, all in y'all lower self, and you feel like that's gonna work. You went and got your company, and you're doing all this stuff you're doing, and you're building a life for yourself down here. And what I want you to do is build it from up here. Build your life from up here, not down here. You don't have to do it. How did this plant grow? When you going driving down on the side of the highway, you didn't plant none of those trees. How did they grow? You ain't watered none of them trees. You ain't planted none of them trees on the side of the highway. How did they grow? Somebody answer that for me, please. Let's keep this thing very basic. I ain't talking about the stuff you planted. I'm talking about these pine trees. I'm talking about these trees in your backyard. You didn't plant not now one of them, nor had you watered them. How did they grow and get that big? How did they do it? Does anybody know? Madam Tanya says simple nature. Coley said nature. Randoja said nature. So why you don't want none? Somebody said they tapped into other sources of water. Okay, I feel you. Teresa Hoffert said nature. So then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They are growing strong because they are simply being a tree. They're not trying to be a mechanic. They're not trying to be a computer IT person. They're not trying to be in politics. They're not trying to be a forklift driver. They're not trying to work at Burger King. They don't have any wants, needs, and desires. They're simply relying on being. And that being becomes the responsibility of God then. See, when you be, now God is responsible for you. But when you are human doing, you become responsible for yourself. The prodigal son. Adam and Eve. When they were just being, they was God's responsibility. But when you bite the fruit of the program, oh, okay, y'all want to do it on yourself. Cool. Now you need to put some clothes on. Now y'all need to find somewhere to live. I don't mean to do this Sunday, y'all. But you got to understand what I'm trying to get you to see is that we have the real design. And the real design is the way that you can eradicate disease. It's the way that you can eradicate poverty. It's the way that you can eradicate the impoverished mind. Nature don't mean you're going to be broke, because nature is the most abundant. But things happen right on time. And what we're doing as humans is we're overriding the voice of nature. So you override the time, you can miss your opportunity. How many people feel like they done missed some opportunities before? Huh? Put some ones in the chat if you feel like you just done missed some opportunities before. Whether it was a female, whether it was a job, whether it was a business thing, whether it was sports, what you just feel like, man, I know I missed that. You see that? And you can keep on missing if you don't start to listen. Okay? You can keep on missing if you don't start listening. And you say, well, who am I listening to? Nature. If it's a sunny day outside and you feel good, then that's it. Be energetic. If it's a sunny day outside and you feel tired, be tired. But let the sun rejuvenate you. You don't got to do nothing. See, that's a good thing about my life is that when I'm tired, I don't got to do nothing. When I'm energetic, I can do whatever. When I'm emotional, I can be that. When I'm quiet, I can be that, because I ain't got nothing forcing me to override myself anymore. But I don't want you to, one person can't change this thing, 100 people can't, so don't try to leave your job quite yet. But 1 billion people, and I know y'all know more folk than I do. So go tell somebody that it's that time. That we're trying to operate from this higher consciousness so that we can know exactly what we need to do when we're in time of need. If you know how to manifest properly, why would you need to work? Why would you need to clock in anybody's job if you know how to use your voice and manifest what you need? If you could tap into your intuition more than your intellect, because intellect means that you had to have seen it before. The only way you can be intellectual the way that you need to is that there has been some kind of experience or exposure to a thing first. But intuition, you would know it and never did, but you never went in this room before. But you know it's the room to go in. You ain't never met this person before, but you know that's the person for you. You've never run around this corner before, but you know you're going the right way. So my thing is that if you could speak the right things, and if you could tap into your intuition better, why would you lack? Why would there be any need, wants, or desires here? And if your spirituality was high, meaning your relationship with nature was high, you can keep hearing the downloads. You can keep hearing the voices from the day and the night. You can keep hearing the voices from God through nature. And now, okay, so now I can speak it into existence. I now can see in dark spaces. So I know where I'm going at all times. And then also I can hear from God clearly through nature. Man, that's abundance. This is lack. This is abundance. This is lack. This is abundance. This is you got to do it. This is God doing it for you. That's your design. You got a choice between both of them. This is what we call the demigod, but I call it the dummy God. You know, they call it demi. We're going to say this is the dummy God, the God that don't know what to do. Walking around here being able to do all this stuff, but you can't heal yourself of sicknesses. You can't change your life when it comes to your finances. I see so many people. I'm a strong black woman. I'm a strong black man. We the true gods and goddesses. We this and we that. Why you sick for, kinfolk? Why you still on these folks' system for? How does that happen? How can you be this king, queen, goddess, and strong, but you still shackled in chains here. I don't understand it. Y'all keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I don't understand it. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Okay? I'm working for them likes. I'm working for these shares. So we got thyroid issues because of our trust and the blockage of our creativity. We got growth and development issues because of the way how we perceive in life, being too delusional. The root word of delusion is the deluge, the water. Life path 7 is a water sign. Delusion is deluge, water over the eyes. You can't see clear, cataracts, glaucoma. Yes, eyesight issues. Can't grow hair on the body, alopecia, pituitary gland, miscarriages, can't, too short arms, too long arms, too big feet, too short feet, too short in height, too tall in height, pituitary gland. The good side about it is you could be very intuitive. You can have good perspective or you can have bad perspective. The guilt and unforgiveness, here, pleasure, comes from what you want. You can't stop yourself from this little dopamine type of effect you got. So you're always wanting this pleasure. Now you start getting over into pleasuring yourself. Now you start getting over into can't stopping yourself from pleasurous things. Now you got HIV and herpes. See, these diseases will tell on you. These diseases will tell on you. Somebody put that in the chat. Diseases will tell on you. So you thinking folk don't know what you're doing in the dark, but diseases will tell on you. Somebody please put that in the chat. Go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan, all right? Get your owner's manual. Get your blueprint. Go to the website, type in blueprint. Diseases will tell on you. Obesity will tell on you. Diabetes will tell on you. Reproductive issues will tell on you. Yes. They'll tell on you. And that's why folks is scared to call me, because I don't take that crap. Because if you got something, then you got something going on. Well, man, you know, I eat right and I sleep right and I do everything right, but I just got this little lump on my booty. Diseases will tell on you. And you haven't ran into somebody that knows this information like this. So you still think that you can just hide stuff in the dark, but diseases will tell on you. Issues of life. Issues of life will tell on you. And you finally have met somebody. Nature has finally created somebody that knows. Because, you know, we like to lie to the judge, we'll lie to the doctor, we like to lie to the spouse, we'll lie to ourselves, we'll lie to everybody, but something has been created to where it'll tell on you. Yes, sir. Any questions? Any questions, you guys? We got about 54 more minutes. Please, let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Go share this with somebody. What's done in the dark will come to the light. That's the thing. But ain't nobody been able to read it like that because don't nobody care like that. You lying to the doctor don't really care. You lie to the pastor don't really care, that's you lying. You lie to the judge don't really care, that's you. You lie to the police officer, hey, don't nobody really care enough to know really what's going on. But see, back in the day in ancestral times, you couldn't get away with it. Because it'll tell on you. Oh, about the things you do. Yes, sir. Lana said, thank you, HerbMan. Yes, thank you, Lana. Yes, it'll tell on you. So what we need to understand is that we need that telling because we need to shine light on the root. The root. That root is causing so much stress and anxiety, burning out your kidneys and your adrenals, burning out your ligaments and your bones because you just moving and moving and moving. Can't sit down nowhere. I got to make that money. I got to keep on going. You 50 and 60 years old. I got to keep on going. Arthritis is breaking you down. I got to keep on going. Arthritis ain't going to stop me. But what are you doing? What are you running your body down for? The wheels will fall off eventually. Because there are two things that you need to understand here. In order to reach this longevity that we teach you about, this 120-year longevity, in order to reach this, you guys, you must share the space. Your body alone will have a hard time getting to this 120 years. That's why you ain't really seen a whole bunch of us. Out of 8 billion people, you ain't really seen a whole bunch of us make it to 120 years old. You got to ask yourself why. Because the physical design, the physical stress that's going on right now in the modern man, it makes it very hard to endure this whole race just physically. So you share the space. Share the space with who? With these things in you. If you could be alignment with nature more so you could have a clean spirituality and a concise understanding of what God is saying in your life, if you could be more intuitive and if you knew how to manifest properly, then guess what? It takes a little bit off the body. And it takes a little bit off the mind. The stress and anxiety starts to erode away. The lack and the need starts to erode away. So that's what we want you to understand, is you can share this space with these things to make your life easier and also to provide longevity. That's what the owner's manual and the blueprint is all about. If you guys got any questions or concerns and you want to know more about the owner's manual, it's not a book. It's just a book on you. And everybody got their own book of life. So I didn't write no one generic book. And if you want to learn how to do this for real and teach this, then you can join the HerbMan School. We have an early bird special right now. You go to the website, get in before the end of March. Classes start on April the 4th. But that's what this thing is all about. That's what this thing is all about, blending this stuff in so that we can really get an understanding of how we're truly, wonderfully, and majestically made. Again, the dummy God. You don't know the real God in you. Not a demi, the dummy. And that dummy means ignorant of your real God powers. It's not your God powers ain't for you to make $1 million. Your God power ain't about making 1 million babies. I'm going to teach you guys one thing. The only reason I will want wealth is to buy back my cognitive freedom. I want to go in there and purchase my freedom. How much? I got all of that money. I give it all to you for me to be free. So that I don't have to worry about nothing. I can just be. The only reason I want to be wealthy is to buy back my mind. What say you? I'm grateful to be in divine alignment to find you, HerbMan. Much love to you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Lana. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Yes. Yes. There you go, Donna. That's about the best thing you said right there. You either pay attention or you pay attention. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? Because y'all look like y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all just staring at me. Yes, I do this for real. But you know what? One thing I always knew when I was singing, they said if the audience quiet, that means you done captivated them. That means they good to go. Okay. But it starts now. Okay. Everything starts now. Right. The website is loveherbman.com. LOVEHERBMAN.com. Okay. Loveherbman.com. Okay. Life path 8, self-control issues. Watch your pancreas, your digestive system. Okay. Also watch your sleep habits, your pineal gland. Okay. Watch your mood. What days will the school be teaching once I join? Weekends. So you get 2 weekends a month. It is a year course, a user 1807. Okay. You can't learn this in a few weeks. So it's a whole year. We're going to walk you through how to teach this. What's my zodiac? Man, you don't need to know my zodiac. Let me ask you something though. So for real, I'm gonna ask you this. Let's see if you know. What zodiac sign is the sun in right now? So for real. What zodiac sign is the sun in right now? So for real. If you know that, then you know who I am. I always stay aligned with the sun. It's all good. I just told you, Ibrahim. My owner's manual is on point. We'll be getting my tea blend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My pleasure, my pleasure. And all we do is just take a birthday, right? We don't accept no diagnosis. Y'all don't tell me nothing about yourself. All I see is that you purchased it and then you email me your birthday. That's it. So for anything to be accurate on now is crazy. But not only that, is that if it is accurate with some of the other stuff, it's also going to be accurate with those remedies and solutions. So now we've understood how to go back to nature instead of asking astrologers for love and money. You can't sustain that love and money without having a healthy mind. So what we're trying to do is put you back into your healthy mind, get you to understand this first. Then you can get the love and the money and it's sustainable. Why would I tell you about $1 million that you can't keep? Why would I tell you about a beautiful woman that you can't keep? So you get a healthy mind and understand when these things gonna come, so you stop missing opportunity. And now it's not about getting something; it's about maintaining it. We're trying to teach you how to be a good steward, a good gardener over this life experience. That's what the task was, right? We should be good gardeners over this. I just told y'all this ground very fertile. I told y'all that this experience is very fertile. If you think a thing, it'll come. If you say a thing, it'll come. And if you do something, you're going to get a result from that thing. This experience is very fertile. Somebody please put that in the chat for folks to get this. This experience is very fertile. This experience is very fertile. This experience is very fertile. Now that means that it'll grow some bad stuff if you do stuff, and it'll grow some good stuff if you do stuff. You decide on what you want to grow. If you eat bad stuff, you will get a disease. This experience is very fertile. If you think bad, do bad, you will get into bad situations. This experience is very fertile. If you keep on eating stuff that cause high blood pressure, will you or will you not get it? This experience is very fertile. If you keep eating stuff causing high blood sugar, you won't even let it come down before you pop another piece of sweet in your mouth. Guess what? You're going to get diabetes. This experience is very fertile. If you out here unprotected and you don't really check your people, you will catch something. This experience is very fertile. You get that cool D. Did that hit you? Did it hit you? See, I don't mind whooping you in the spirit because you need to understand this thing. Then you make a choice on what you want to grow. If you study and show thyself approved, you'll make something pop off in that study. See, this is life. I went through enough experience in life to know this. This experience is very fertile. So you got to watch your mind, you got to watch your tongue, and you got to watch your heart, and you also got to watch what you do. Watch how you feeling, watch how you thinking, watch how you eating, watch how you drinking, because this experience is very fertile. And it'll produce whatever you're consuming. And I heard a wise man say one day that it's not what goes into a man that defiles, but it's what goes out of it. Ain't that what it said? Because when all of this is seeds. All of it is seeds. Lana, if you want to get the payment plan, then you have to email me, and then we can start you on the payment plan, okay? If you want to get the payment plan, you can email me, and we'll put you on the payment plan. But you want to get in before March ends, okay? Any other questions? Does everybody get what I put down just then? This experience is very fertile. Mama Nature is very fertile. And she'll have any kind of baby you want. Okay? And so therefore, if you think on a thing and if you study a thing, it will come to fruition. And remember that I'm trying to tell you that we're dummy gods. You don't really know how much power you really are dealing with. And you sit up there and say, well, how did I get arthritis? You won't be still. How did I get cancer? You won't rest and repair. You're too sad all the time. You know, cancer comes from depression. High blood pressure comes from anxiety, worry. Liver issues come from frustration and anger. What happens when you keep remembering dreams that you had years ago, that you had years back, like very lucid? Nothing. That's okay. That's not a bad thing because you're having lucid dreams. But I don't want you to think that you're crazy. You don't need to be on no bipolar medication, or you don't need to be on no, it's a gift. You just got to know how to control the gift. You got to know who and what those gifts are representing. You see? Because I have the same thing, but that's all up in this space, right? That's all up in the spirituality and the intuition. So, you know, that old song from Color Purple, God's trying to tell you something, but you got to know how to decode. Okay? Shahansha, you got to know how to decode. As long as they not hurting you, it's okay to have those dreams. What about low blood sugar levels? That's very easy. If you got low blood sugar levels, that means that you got a lack of energy. So you need to be eating more energy sources. Okay? Abraham, right? If you got low blood sugar levels, you're dealing with hypoglycemia, then you need to eat more energy. And energy is fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. You choose one. Okay? You choose one. Skip that 63, you DM me, or you go to the website, type in owner's manual, or you could type in the blueprint. If you type in the blueprint, it automatically comes with your herbs. Okay? You type in foundational blueprint, it automatically comes with your herbs. If you just want the owner's manual, then you just type in owner's manual. Can you decode the reason why anxiety happens in your sleep? Yes, he just said it, because they're lucid dreams. That's why. If they're lucid, then you're going to feel like it's real. And so you're going to get anxiety. This experience is very fertile. Yes, there we go. This experience is very fertile. Okay? So you guys got to watch it. Be careful about what you're doing. Be careful about what you're eating, drinking, but more importantly, how you're thinking and feeling. Thinking and feeling drives everything else. So what we're trying to do is raise your consciousness in this particular paradigm, because we know that the root of it is how you think and feel about this experience. Now they have you down here and you're thinking and you got to do, and you, so yes, this doesn't feel good. I always be in lack. I always need something, want something, and desiring. It's tiring. But are you sick and tired? Now, some of us are sick and some of us done got tired. So therefore, that's why the live is like this, and that's why business is good. Because now people are understanding that these wants, needs, and desires is causing sickness. Look how many people do you know with high blood sugar, digestive issues? How many people you know with reproductive issues? How many people you know with adrenals, kidneys, and bone issues? How many? How many people you know with high blood pressure, reproductive system issues, arthritis, kidney issues, high blood sugar, digestive issues? How many people do we know? That's the bulk of everything. The only other one that a lot of people are dealing with is the love, because that's going to, I told y'all, that's the cancer right there. That's the immune system. So from this dang thing on down is where 90% of us, no matter what part of the planet you on, from this part down, this is the most of your diseases. They lower self stuff. That's capitalism, baby. And modern medicine is a part of this thing. Remember, I got the medical on the boat. So they think is to get them back out there. Get them back out. So they're going to give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this to get you back out here. But the thing about it is that this is what you're preferring. You're preferring to get back out on the field, coach. But you limping. How you going to be at your full capacity injured? You going to work with high blood pressure. You driving the truck with high blood pressure. You at the job with diabetes. How productive do you think you're going to be able to be? And you can't wait till the game over. You call that retirement. But life don't end when you retire. You just waiting to expire. You need to keep on. But see, this stuff down here done beat you down so much that you ain't got no choice but to wave the white flag and tap out. We're trying to get you up in here. You can live longer and live stronger by working this in and working this out rather than working your back out. So we're trying to raise your consciousness on really how the God body really is designed so that you don't continue to be a dummy God. We don't want you to continue to be a dummy God. Okay? We don't want you to continue to do that. Donald, you just come on here to talk too much. We're going to have to mute you. You're just talking a little too much. Okay? I practice humming daily, but still have nervous system issues. What can I be doing wrong? You're probably not doing it properly. Okay? It's user error. 1807. It could be user error. All right? Because if you're humming, remember I told you that you can start to close your ears. Close your eyes and close your ears. Add that to the regimen. Also, you can start to do this right here, right? Rub your belly while you hum. Give yourself some love. You know, don't just be doing it. Fall into it. Some of y'all he said do this. You got to fall in love with yourself, man. You got to fall in love with your sound. You have to give room and give way to relax and do everything you need to do and fall in love with your sound. It's not a thing that you're doing. It's a thing that you're being. Hopefully I helped you right there. But y'all be wanting stuff, you wanted to go by the book, you know. But it said the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. So if you're just going literal, you're going to still be in the same issues. Okay? Spirituality is your relationship with nature. You are a part of nature. Y'all don't have a real good relationship with yourself. That's why a lot of you guys get your blueprint, you get your owner manual, and you can't understand it because you can't understand you. You've never read about you. You only read about other folk. You see what I'm trying to get you to see? You only have used your eyes for external uses, exterior perspective. You've never ever looked inward. And this blueprint thing and this owner's manual thing is a mirror for you to look inward. And you start to shed light, the pineal. You start to shed light on the dark spaces in your life. And you start finding all of that garbage that you suppressed and all of that programming and engineering that's been hiding in the closets and the weeds of your life. And when you start getting in here, you start pruning and you start cultivating and you start to till and you start to open up rooms that ain't been open in a while. And you start to see that those things are hiding in them dark spaces. And you got your little flashlight on in you. We can start finding all that garbage and eliminating it. Gotta love you before you can love anybody. How do I get the manual found? DM me or go to the website and type in owner's manual. Okay. Yep, DM me or go to the website and then you can find it. Anybody else? How to detox the vaccine? So the biggest question is, is that what your body need to do? Okay. Can your body do that task is what I'm asking P.S. Coley. If your body can do that task, then yes, you can go to the website and type in Panacea Blend. Okay, P.S. Coley. You can go to the website and type in Panacea Blend, and that'll help you with that. But you need the material to do the task. So the Panacea Blend is going to be the material to do that task. Congenital, Miss Cleo, that's what you got going on. Depression, your love life, sadness, Miss Cleo. depression, grief, sadness. Miss Cleo. Okay? We got to deal with that too. How about you looking inwardly and feel like it's lightning areas you don't wish to go to? You got to go to them. Come on. You can't be scared of your damn self. Come on now, Shahansa. Can't be scared of yourself. Okay? You can't be scared of yourself. I ain't going to let y'all get yourself out the hood. That's why a lot of us don't get well. A lot of us don't get well because we feel like we're so unconquerable. Nobody can fix me. Nobody can do anything. You know, not gonna let you off the hook, pimp. You know what I'm saying? When you come to me, it's your responsibility. And we're gonna make you play football if you're trying to do something. You come into practice. No, we ain't gonna let you sit on the bench of your own life. We're gonna let you sit on the bench of your own life. What if there's things about me I don't want to go to? Then those things that you don't want to go to will eventually cause you the sickness, and it's going to shorten your lifespan. You gotta go to them. This ain't a if or but. You gotta do it, baby. You see, if you're trying to actually get to the place you want to get to, if you're actually trying to get to this bud right here, you want to be this rose. And you want to be able to be this rose for as long and as strong as you possibly can, there can't be nothing about you you're scared of. Okay? You got to tackle these things. I already purchased my owner's manual, so thank you. Yeah, but that Panacea blend is not the owner's manual, P.S. Coley. Okay? But if you have those same herbs in your owner's manual, then you good. But that Panacea blend ain't your owner's manual. Okay? You got to do it, you guys. You cannot be afraid of this, okay? 1 million people can change the world and change systems. But yes, it does seem daunting. 100 people, yeah, they can lock them folk up. 1,000 people, yeah, they can just fire all of y'all. But 1 million people can change systems and can change the world. Okay? And that's what we're trying to get you guys to see. We don't want you guys to come out here and try to do this alone. Shoot, I can tell you firsthand. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. I know them folk gonna come and get me eventually. But it's okay. I'm having children, I'm planting seeds, whether I'm having children physically and I'm having children based on the school and based on the people who watch me. So you can't stop the spirit. You can't kill the spirit. I don't even know Dr. Saber, but when Dr. Saber died, the spirit jumped off onto me. You see? And I ain't his child, but I am. Elisha wasn't Elijah's child, but he was his armor bearer. So it don't matter. Even if they stop the herb school, I done taught this so much now. That there's some young person, there's some brother or sister out there that says, I got that. I got that. Anything happen to that brother, we're going to keep it going. You can't stop this spirit. So what I'm telling you is that there is nothing to be afraid of. I have this feeling like there's a part of me that I'm yet to unravel. Yeah, that's why we're trying to get that consciousness up so then it can start to be revealed to you. Okay? Shahanza, I can already tell you what it is. You got to know it though. But I can already tell you what you filling around with. Okay? I can already tell you just by what you're saying to me. I can already tell you what you're feeling. You just keep filling it around over here in this area. You just keep filling around, acting like you don't know which one of these you supposed to be doing. But you up here though. But you just keep filling around like, I don't know that I'm spiritual. I don't know that I'm intuitive. I don't know that I can manifest. Yes, you do. So what is it that you're trying to unravel? You feeling it around with it. I don't even know you through the screen and can tell you what you got going on. So what is the problem with you understanding this part? You're spiritual, you're intuitive, and you can manifest. What is there to unravel? So that lets me know that you up in here somewhere. A 975. It's one of them. What's your life path number, Shahanza? Somebody tell me. You told me. You just don't want to believe yourself. I didn't tell you. You told me. I'm decoding what you're telling me. But you, if you listen to folk, they'll tell you their problems. That's why I'm a great listener. If you listen to yourself long enough, you'll tell the problem and the solution. I learned that a long time ago. If you sit there and listen to them, they'll tell you the problem and the solution. What's your life path number, Shahanza? Do you know how to get your life path number? What's your birthday? I'm guessing you either life path 6, 5, 7, or 9. You might be a 6. Oh, you don't want to answer that question. All right, you guys. Anybody else? We're almost there. We got 22 more minutes left. I already talked about 6. Okay, the 6 is the healer. Just give me your birthday on here. Just put your birthday on here, Shahanza. We'll tell you. Okay, the healer is the 6. Okay, but that's also the air sign. So we know you talk to yourself. Okay, but also not only do you talk to yourself, what you got to worry about the most is your sadness, depression. You can be very depressive. You can be thinking about the past a lot. Okay, so writer's perspective, you want to watch out for that particular type of stuff as well, because that can lead to immune issues, autoimmune issues, respiratory issues, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So that's the stuff that you want to watch out for. But yeah, you love to love people. Again, life path 6 is the healer. Okay. Shahanza, I need to know the year too. We can't just do it off of that. Okay. If you don't want to put it up there, then get your owner's manual. All right. Once the school, yeah, 1st November ain't gonna do it. I need a year too. Once the school starts, it would change a lot of lives. We should all join. Yeah, man. Everybody should join it. For real, for real. I mean, it's going to be on Zoom. So right now I can take up to about 300 students, I think. So, hey, let's get it. Let's get it. So 1 November 1990. So let's break that down. 1 plus 11 is 12. So that's going to be 1 plus 2. So that's 3. 1990 is eventually going to be what? 19, right? So that's going to come up to 10, which is 1. 1 and 3 is a 4. So that 4 and 6, I thought you was a 6, but you're a 4. So we still right here, that love, right? So boom. So that's where you're at. Okay. That's an air sign. Okay. So not you are air sign, but number 4 is an air element. So you're an airbender. So you talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. But that grief and depression, okay, being very sad and depressive all the time, that can hamper you moving forward. Depression is in the past. So being depressive and being sad from stuff going on because of this love thing that's in you, then guess what? It'll keep you from moving forward. They say, yeah, I talk to myself often. Yeah, the 4s, the 6s, and the air signs all talk to themselves. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that though. Okay, so that's the problem right there, is that you have this sensational ability to love on people and places and things, but you got to learn. You got to learn how to use it for your benefit. Okay, I'm gonna show you something real quick for you guys out there so y'all can see something. Oh, when I come to the end of the journey. Who will not come? See? The 4, the builder. Okay, structure, stability, foundation, the builder. Okay, but you got to have a blueprint. Shahanza. You got to have a blueprint. You're the builder. But you got to have a blueprint before you start to build. Your problem is the blueprint part. You ready to build something. You just don't know what. You don't know what it should look like. So you need a blueprint. Because you're the builder, you're not the architect. So you need somebody to help you, give you some understanding of what to build, and then that's when you're going to be able to build. You see what I'm saying? So you get your blueprint from me. You get your blueprint from me. Once you get the blueprint, then you'll know how to build your life. But you need structure. You're going to need stability. You're going to need this stuff to sustain you. Okay? And that's what you need to understand. But remember what I just said. You're the builder, not the architect. So you're going to need some help with what your life should look like. Once you get it, you got it, you'll be good. Just go to the website, type in blueprint, or type in owner's manual, Shahanza. That's all you got to do. Go to the website, type in blueprint, and type in owner's manual. Give me your birthday again through the email. Then you get your blueprint. Once you got your blueprint, then you're ready to build. I have my owner's manual. I just need to know my path, if you don't mind. Tammy McKee, I'm not going to do that. If you got your owner's manual, call me, because you know I cuss you out. Okay? I cuss you out. You know that. You know not to come up here. If y'all got y'all owner's manual, don't ask me to do something on the live, please. This is for the new audience. Okay? This is for the new audience. Okay? If you already done got your owner's manual, y'all know you got lifetime access to me. You don't have to access me on the live. Okay, this is for the new people. This is for me to teach this without having old folk that just scared to pick up the phone. Okay, your stuff is private, so you do your own stuff. And your life path number is on your owner's manual. Okay, your life path number is on your owner's manual. Okay, so the life path, all that's talking about is meaning. Okay, astrology is giving you timing. The life path gives you meaning. Okay, that's all this is. But again, it doesn't really matter if everything is consuming you here. See, if you don't have that blueprint and know where you are, then you'll be getting consumed by the program. The program wants to keep you down in this lower area. Remember that you have a physical side and a spiritual side. You have an outward side and you have an inward. Okay? And so the thing is that a lot of us don't know that we're having an inward time in life. So then guess what we'll do? Just like with Shahanza right there, right? Shahanza is a Scorpio, right? A Scorpio. 1990, 20-something, you still down in here, Shahanza. Guess what? You're still in that spiritual phase of life. You're still, matter of fact, 1990, let's just say you're probably in Aquarius. You're probably in Capricorn or Aquarius. So you're in the winter time of life, inward, spiritual. It ain't about you doing nothing outwardly. Now, I said that you're probably up here, but yes, you are. You're in that spiritual phase of life. It ain't about doing externally. It's about doing the work internally. That's what you get. Yeah, I wouldn't know your life path, Skip, unless you did the what you call them. Unless you did the unless you know your own life path, or you did the owner's manual. I accept calls every day from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The ones are down here. The ones belong to the earth element, and the ones are all about stability. Okay. So that's the earth element, all about stability, need, right? Trying to feel that need, survival mode, right? But then also because it's the earth element, you also got to go up here too to creativity. Okay. Now the negatives about this is on this side, right? So if you're not able to create, if you're being feel like you're being creatively blocked, okay, that your voice is not being heard, if you're not able to provide stability and structure and safety and security to your life, then you're going to be stressed out and anxious. That's going to mess with your adrenals, your kidneys, or you can have bone issues. Okay. High blood pressure is down here. Or when you go up here, you can be having weight problems and metabolism problems and also thyroid issues as well. That's the life path one, but there's also the earth element in which it represents. So it could be a lot of different things that you could be dealing with. Okay. But creativity and safety and security are at the fundamental root of a life path one. Okay. If you guys want to see what that looks like, I can bring that back up. All right. So these are the life path ones, the leader. Okay. The leader. Okay. The leader. Very good. Very good. Leader, you're independent. You're doing your thing. But at the end of the day, if you're not doing your thing, you're going to have problems. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have problems, homie. So a lot of leaders, a lot of life path ones, if they're not doing their thing, they're going to have problems. I'm experiencing all of that, but I'm a life path 5. Yes, because you're an earth sign. Remember, five is an earth sign, and 1 is an earth sign. Madam Tonya, I told you that when we talked. Okay, life path 1. See that 1? Creativity. That's a 5 right there. These are earth elements, so a person can experience either one of them. Okay. A 4 we already talked about. That's the builder. Okay, black butterfly. That's the builder. That's the air sign. So we know you talk to yourself, right? But again, you could be very depressive, very sad when things don't go right in your love life, or when somebody, maybe your loved one, at some kind of way is taken away from you. Okay. Also, you could, when I mean depressive, you can be always thinking about the past a lot. Okay. Watch your immune system, watch your autoimmunity, watch your respiratory system. All those things are going to play factors if you're on the wrong side of this particular thing. For life path 4s and 6s, you should be all about love. But that love can get blocked when it's taken away from you for whatever reason. Okay. And then that started to spawn into some problems with you physically. Remember that these things are psychological first before they come physiological. So that's why we're trying to change the way you think and feel first, not trying to change your diet. Black Butterfly said, yes, that's true. Yes, this all is about you guys, okay? So this stuff is real. It works. If you want it, you have an opportunity to get it for that little funky measly $50. It's probably bigger than any other product that you can ever buy. Okay, that this service that we're providing is going to be the best health assessment that you can get. Now, we're not saying that you don't need to get your blood work and all that. You can, but that's just exterior information. You want some interior information. Then that's what this is about. Lately, I've been doing lots of anger management, not too easily get pissed off lately. Uh-huh. Yeah, you stay doing the work, Shahanza. So I'm ready now. Yeah, I know you will. Go ahead and DM us, so you can go to the website and just type in blueprint or owner's manual. The blueprint comes already with the herbs. The owner's manual is just the owner's manual. What does the numbers represent? Meaning. The numbers represent meaning. They represent what you call your life path number. You get your life path number by adding up your birthday. Okay, adding up your birthday. I always tell people this: how did they find Jesus? Because of a birthday. Out of a birthday, you not only you got time, you got seasons, all off that one birthday. It's Christmas. It was winter. Winter in Africa is summer. Okay, so winter in Africa, it was summer. It wasn't like it was snowing out there. So at the end of the day, you got all of this time that is given to you by what? By the Son of God. Okay, so the Son of God began to give us times, seasons. Why do we need to know that? So that we can harvest, so that we can plant. We also use the sun for navigation. We use the stars for navigation of the ocean. We use this stuff because we need to know when high tide and floods came so that we can get up into the mountains like the Dogon. Then when the high tides and the floods went down, then we knew we can go and plant and harvest. So if this stuff got us to 2026, otherwise, if we were so ignorant of this stuff, we wouldn't even made it as a humanity. I'm bringing it back in and rediscovering it to let you know that it also is a great health assessment. It can navigate you through your health issues. It can navigate you through your wealth issues. It can navigate you through your relationship issues so that you can plant and harvest and watch out for floods of life. That's it for me, you guys, man. I appreciate all the love. It look like we got to get to that 100K. Look like we already there. So I appreciate you guys. If you got any questions, any concerns about anything, I'm here for you. Okay. I'll always be here for you. We'll come back on tomorrow, same back time, same back channel. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. We thank all of my thumb warriors for all of the love, all of the appreciation. You guys, if you missed this program, it will be uploaded on YouTube as well. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. I love you guys, and it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time, love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. Peace be unto you guys. Peace, 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 peace.